Let's make a gorgeous all-natural lotion. With the need for emulsifiers and preservatives, making lotions can seem kind of intimidating, but I promise you can do it. And once you do, you'll be absolutely hooked. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Marie from Humblebee and Me, and I've been formulating for over a decade. I've got 2 formulation diplomas from Formula Botanica, and today I'm going to teach you how to make an all-natural, lightweight, pump bottle friendly lotion. Once we've got this formulation down, I will be sharing follow-up videos that will teach you how to customize this lotion, or really any lotion, to make it thicker, thinner, richer, add scent, all kinds of other things, the sorts of customizations I'm often asked about here on YouTube and over on my blog. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Now let's dive in. We're going to make a 100-gram batch of this lotion today. I like this batch size for a couple reasons. Firstly, it's enough to work with. It's easy to blend. We're not measuring out really tiny amounts or anything. Secondly, it's enough to use for a while to get a feel for how much you like it. It's about 3.3 fluid ounces of lotion. And thirdly, if something goes really wrong, it's not so much that you feel absolutely awful if you end up having to throw it away. I recommend sticking with this 100-gram batch size to start with, but if you love it and want just a great big batch of lotion, there are links on how to scale the formulation up in the partner blog post. And lastly, I love that with a 100-gram batch, each gram equals 1%, so it can kickstart your understanding of formulations in percentages. The ingredients in any hot process lotion formulation, which is what we're making today, are divided into 3 or sometimes 2 phases. We've got a heated water phase, which contains water-soluble ingredients that are heat-stable, like distilled water and humectants. There's a heated oil phase, which contains heat-stable, oil-soluble ingredients like butters and emulsifying waxes and carrier oils. And then there is a cool-down phase, which is where you'll find ingredients that aren't heat-stable. So this is ingredients like essential oils, fragrance oils, lots of actives, and most preservatives. If the formulation doesn't contain any heat-sensitive ingredients, there won't be a cool down phase. We'll start making this beginner-friendly lotion by weighing out the ingredients for our 2 heated phases, starting with the heated water phase. You'll need 74 grams of distilled water. This sort of boring ingredient is absolutely key to lotion formulating. Water not only hydrates the skin, but also dilutes the oil in the formulation, making lotions far lighter and faster absorbing than their anhydrous skincare counterparts. We use distilled water in formulating because it is just water. The minerals and ions found in tap water have been removed. Now, if you don't have distilled water, I've shared some links in the free partner blog post on other waters that can work, and also on how to make your own distilled water. The second ingredient in our heated water phase is 5 grams of sodium lactate. Sodium lactate is an amazing humectant with over twice the water holding capacity of glycerin, and as an added bonus, it doesn't feel sticky or tacky. My sodium lactate is a 60% solution. If yours is the pure powder, you'll need to adjust how much you use, and I've provided instructions on how to do this in the Humblebee and Me DIY encyclopedia entry on sodium lactate. I chose sodium lactate for this formulation instead of the more common glycerin because it helps ensure the pH of the lotion falls where we want it to. With sodium lactate, the pH of this emulsion is reliably in the 5 to 5.5 range. If you don't have sodium lactate, please read the free partner blog post for multiple substitution suggestions. The partner blog post for this video alone is about 3,000 words long, so you know it contains answers to heaps of questions that I just couldn't address in a video that was shorter than a feature-length film. Up next, we will weigh out the ingredients for our heated oil phase. You'll need 5 grams of Ritamulse SCG. This is our all-natural emulsifying wax. It brings together the oil and the water in this formulation to create a stable emulsion, and it also thickens the lotion. The little glass disc I'm using here is called a watch glass. The inky for Ritamulse SCG is glyceryl stearate and cetyl alcohol and sodium stearyl lactylate. It is sometimes sold under names like Ecomulse, Naturemulse, Cream Maker Mix, and Emulsimulse, so make sure you are looking at the inky of what you're buying to know what you're gonna get. Ritamulse SCG is one of my favorite emulsifiers, natural or not, for the soft, powdery feel that it contributes to our emulsions. It's also a lot less prone to the soaping effect, which is that really white effect that you can get on the skin when you rub a lotion in, than a lot of other natural emulsifiers are. I used this emulsifier earlier this year in my soft oat hand lotion formulation, and my patron Ginger shared this lovely feedback. Hi Marie, I already have a nice lotion recipe I use, but wanted an exceptional recipe. I didn't have most of the ingredients, but ordered them to give this a try. I have to tell you that this lotion is fantastic. I always give small bottles out for testing and everyone loved it. The best part was testing it on my feet, that I have to take a bench grinder to almost every day. Wow, this lotion is softening my heels. I can't believe it. On top of that, the silkiness. Thanks for another winner, Marie. If you want to learn more about this amazing emulsifier, I shared a deep dive on it earlier this year, so make sure you check it out. It's linked in the description box below. 15 grams of MCT, or medium chain triglycerides, is the star emollient in this lotion and the last ingredient in our heated phases. This ingredient adds richness to the lotion, and I chose it because it's lightweight, relatively inexpensive, and has a long shelf life. If you don't have MCT, you could easily use a different liquid oil instead, like sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, or safflower oil. As always, please make sure you're reading the free partner blog post for more information. Now that we've weighed out the ingredients for our heated phases, we'll combine the ingredients for the two phases in two separate beakers or heat-resistant glass measuring cups. So that is the water and sodium lactate in one, and the Ritamulse SCG and the medium chain triglycerides in the other. Make sure the measuring cup that you're using for the oil phase is big enough to hold the head of your immersion blender. This will be important later. Before we move on to heating, weigh the water phase and note that weight so you can replace any water lost to evaporation during heating. We're going to heat both phases through using a water bath. To make a water bath, place a wide, flat-bottom pan on your stovetop and add about 3 centimeters or an inch of water, and then put your beakers in that pan. I'm using the watch glass from earlier as a lid for the water phase to reduce evaporation. Turn the heat onto medium-low and leave everything to heat through. What we're looking for is for the water to be hot enough that it's steaming, but not simmering and tossing our measuring cups around. The little portable burner I'm using here isn't terribly powerful, so I ended up needing to turn it past medium-low, but when I do this on my stovetop, medium-low is just fine. While we wait for our heated phases to get all roasty toasty, I want to take a moment to tell you about an all-new, totally free formulation masterclass that Formula Botanica is offering soon. They'll be teaching you how to make a different all-natural lotion using botanical actives. So if you're interested in natural lotion formulation, it's the perfect partner piece of education for this series of videos I'm going to be sharing in the next couple weeks. I've earned 2 formulation diplomas from Formula Botanica, and I think they're a great formulation school. So if you'd like to read my reviews of my diploma in Organic Skincare Formulation and my diploma in Organic Haircare Formulation, I've linked to those in the description box below. If you're interested in signing up for the masterclass, there is a sign-up link in the description box below this video. So you can sign up now, and then when the masterclass goes live, you'll learn how to make your very own all-natural botanical cream. Once the Ritamulse SCG has melted through and both phases are about the same temperature, we're ready to proceed. Remove the water phase from the heat, pop it on your scale, and use a bit of preheated distilled water to top it back up to its preheat weight. Pour the water phase into the oil phase. Now, it does not matter which phase is poured into which. I prefer to pour the water phase because it can't re-solidify if it contacts a colder part of its measuring cup the way that the oil phase can. Stir the mixture and then grab your immersion blender and blend the lotion for about a minute. Start with a few slow pulses before working up to a full blend so you don't spray hot lotion everywhere. After about a minute, switch to hand stirring, and hand stir constantly until you notice some thick bits coming up on the spatula, which should take another minute or 2. When that happens, I like to blend for another 20 to 30 seconds, and after that, the lotion should be noticeably thicker and smoother. Continue stirring occasionally until the emulsion is barely warm to the touch. I like to do the baby bottle inner wrist test to check. If you have a thermometer, we're looking for it to be cooler than 40 degrees Celsius, which is about the temperature of a hot tub or a nice bath. So if it feels cooler than a hot tub, you are good to go and move on to the cool down phase. We'll weigh our cool down phase, which is just 1 ingredient for this simple formulation, into a small dish or beaker. So you'll need 1 gram of Euxyl K903. I have absolutely no idea if I'm saying that correctly. Is it Euxyl, Euxyl, Euxyl? not a clue, but I'm pretty confident about the K903 part. The inky for this all-natural preservative is benzyl alcohol and benzoic acid and dehydroacetic acid and tocopherol. And this preservative performs best in lower pH environments with a recommended range of 5 to 5.5. Something I'm loving about this natural preservative is that it doesn't cause the pH of our formulations to plummet nearly as much as GeoGuard Ultra and GeoGuard ECT do. Use of those preservatives often requires some upwards adjusting of the formulation with a strong base, but I've made a lot of versions of this formulation with Euxyl K903, and all of them have been in that 5 to 5.5 range without any further adjusting. If you would like to use a different preservative, I have discussed that in the free partner blog post as well and provided several natural and not natural alternatives. Weigh the preservative into a small dish or beaker, add a glug of lotion, whisk to combine, and then scrape and stir that preservative lotion mixture back into the parent batch. Once the preservative has been incorporated, it's time to test the pH to make sure that it's in that happy range for the preservative and for our skin, and then we'll be ready to package it up. To test the pH, weigh 2 grams of the emulsion and 18 grams of distilled water into a small dish or beaker. Whisk to combine. This creates a 10% solution. I know it seems counterintuitive to dilute the lotion to check the pH, but surprisingly enough, this level of dilution doesn't impact the pH reading. I've included links to learn more about this in the partner blog post, but this is also something that you can test yourself. Try testing both a 10% and a 50% dilution, and you'll find that the readings are very, very close, despite the sizable difference in the composition of the solutions. Use your pH meter to check the pH of the solution. You can learn more about the pH meter that I have in the Humblebee and Me DIY Encyclopedia's equipment section. The pH should fall in the 5 to 5.5 range. If it's lower than 4.5, you'll want to raise it, and if it's higher than 6, you'll need to lower it. For more information on pH testing and adjusting, please read the partner blog post. I've included lots of helpful links in it. And if you're wondering, do I really need to test the pH? I don't have a pH meter. That's also covered in the partner blog post. So yeah, linked in the description box below. Once we have confirmed that the pH of our lotion is in a happy place, we are ready to package it up. I recommend using a pump top bottle, though a soft squeeze tube will also work. A tub or jar will work in a pinch, but be careful not to spill the lotion when you take the lid off, as it is quite fluid. The bottle I'm using is a 120 milliliter aluminum bottle from Yellowbee. It was a gift. Use this lotion as you'd use any hand or body lotion. For shelf life, it should easily last a year or more, but this is discussed more thoroughly in that partner blog post. And that's how to make a basic, beginner-friendly lotion, which is great, but there's so much that you can do with lotion formulating to make something that is truly your own. And I think that you need to watch this video to get started on your very own lotion formulation journey. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.